Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Living in Lexington Live. This is Ben Murphy. I'm with eXp Realty. We are doing our weekly market updates. We're supposed to do it yesterday, but 15-minute run turned into a 3.5 hour run for all kinds of stuff. So I apologize for that. Did meet a nice, lovely couple yesterday morning moving in from Michigan. So we've got all kinds of things going on over here at Living in Lexington. People are ready to move down here and get to live in this beautiful part of the state of Kentucky. So, as always, do you know anyone who needs help selling their home or buying their next home? You guys got to let me know. Email me, call me, text me at benmurphy3022 @gmail.com or 502-758-8138. Always ready to help everyone out. We will have a new video coming out probably today about the Beer Cheese Festival here in Winchester. Believe it or not, beer cheese was invented right here in Winchester, Kentucky. I never knew that. I knew beer cheese was kind of a cool thing, but had no idea of its origin story. So we're going to cover that today in our video once it gets released. Let's jump right into the market update. So current interest rates on average, from what I'm gathering, is right under that 7% mark. It's been pretty steady there now for a while. So I know there are buyers out there that are thinking about waiting until the interest rate drops. It's staying there for a while. So, and there's no sign of it coming down. There's no sign of it really going up either. So there actually are signs of it potentially going up. So there's minimal signs of it coming down. So if you're thinking about that purchase and you want to wait for it to come down, it could be going up, and it could pin yourself in a corner that you're paying 0.5% to 1% more than what you could have been paying for if you went ahead and just pulled the trigger. So make sure you talk to your lenders. Lenders will usually hold that interest rate. They'll lock in the interest rate whenever you sign up with them for 180 days, 3 months. So then that way, if you say you got it a month ago or 2 months ago, you're probably looking at a 6.4% rating. Okay, interest rate. And you could be shopping for those 3 months. But the moment you decide, yes, we don't want it to get any higher, lock that in. Let's get to shopping. Now you're on the time clock for 3 months. Let's go find you a home. And we will find you something. I guarantee you that. So homes closed in Lexington, 59. It was a little bit of a jump from last week. Last week was right around the 48 mark. So that's good. That shows you that more people are buying homes and more people are actively doing stuff. Just going to pull that off real quick. Okay, going right back into it. In Georgetown, had about 18, which is about average. For sales, about 4. That's about average. Winchester, you had 3. Again, average. Paris, this was a little bit of a jump. Paris is usually rocking 2, 1, 0. So the fact that it had a full 7 is is kind of impressive for it. So Nicholasville, you had about 10 homes closed this past week. Again, that's being steady, being average. Richmond, a little bit of a drop. Frankfurt, always between that 7 to 15 mark. So closing wise, somewhat staying consistent. It's not getting lower. That's always good signs. Homes that went under contract this past week in Georgetown. Oh, let's go Lexington first. Lexington had 41. So we had 59 closings. You had 41 go under contract. That's pretty solid. Georgetown, same thing. That's pretty good. For sales, about average. As you can see, the consistency with the closings and the homes going under contract. Winchester, you had about 8. Again, we're being very consistent. So it's not speeding up. It's not really slowing down. That's what all these different areas are showing. Paris at 3, Nicholasville at 6. Homes under contract. So these are homes that have just went under contract. They were on the market. Someone bought them. Now they're in the pending sale, trying to get bought, doing the appraisal, doing the inspection, all that fun stuff. Richmond, only about 10. Usually they're in the 20s. So Frankfurt, again, pretty consistent. So let's see what the homes that just hit the market. So this is the homes that have come on the market versus what's out there completely. Now, these are single family properties. These are not multi family properties. So Lexington had only 35 at the market. It's a little consistent going into last week. I think we had like 39 last week. So we had 59 closings, 41 got under contract, only 35 hit the market. Now, I'm sure some of those or part of that 41, but you really like that number, that 35 number, to be higher than the number of under contract. You really want that number to be higher. So the fact that, though, we're at 220 total active properties, very important. Very, very important, because that number has been under 200 for a good time period. And so to see it getting back up, really, we want it to be in the 250, 260 range, just because that's more inventory consistently across the market. And the market's just been very, very bare when it comes to finding a home. Georgetown 12, a little bit of a replacement, but they've been very consistent with the amount of properties that are always on the market. 212, there's always plenty of properties on the market in Georgetown. For sales, 4. So as you can see, for sales, 3 closings, 4 hit the 4 went under contract, 4 hit the market. So we're not dropping. That's very, very important. Lexington's dropping a little. We need Lexington numbers to get back up and get a little bit higher. Winchester, 2 total active, about around 60. That's about average. Same thing with Paris. Paris is always in the mid-20s. Okay, the fact that they had 4 new properties at the market, that's fantastic. Nicholasville, 8, 79 total. Okay. Richmond's usually plus 100. So, I mean, we're getting back up there with the Richmond numbers. We would like for it to be well over 100. Frankfurt, if you can get to the 75 range, that's a good month for Frankfurt on properties. Okay, so let's see. Oh, excuse me. Still waking up this morning. I need my coffee. Days on market. So these are the average days it took for that home to sell in Lexington. These are the homes that closed in Lexington. So last week it was 2 weeks. This week it's a month. So we've probably had a slew of homes that have been on the market for a while get taken off the market. So just that's the only way that number could be that high, because again, it's been usually in the 2-week range. Georgetown, 74 days on the market. For sales, 53 days on the market. Winchester's been very quick. Winchester's 11 days. That's been consistent. It's taken them a week to 2 weeks to sell their homes. So that means they got their homes priced right. People are moving to Winchester. I don't blame you. I like being out here myself. Days on market, Paris, about 2 weeks. Once they hit the market in Paris, they're out. I mean, they really are. They're gone. They don't last on the market that long unless they are a high value property. Nicholasville, just barely over a week. So as you can see, even though the inventory is low in some of these areas, the ones that hit the market, they're gone. They're getting snatched up as fast as they can, because buyers are shopping. People are ready to go. That's a good sign for you sellers. If you're thinking about selling your home, there are people out there that'll spend money on your home for sure. Richmond's right over a month. Frankfurt's 3 weeks. That may seem like a long time. I talked to some home sellers and buyers. They think if it doesn't sell in 48 hours, it's taking forever. We're entering that time period where it's going to take a week. If you have your home priced right and you're in Lexington, you're in a school district everyone wants to get into, we're going to sell your house in 48 hours. That is not going to be an issue. So it just, again, depends on where you're at and making sure you're priced right. Average sold price homes last week in Lexington was under $500,000. This week it's $375,000. I tell people, for a solid home in Lexington, you're spending over $300,000 easily. So average home price in Georgetown, $300,000 for sales. This is not shocking. They're usually high in this price range. You got some beautiful horse country out there. For sales, right around, or Winchester, I should say, right around 181. They're usually in that 180 to 220 range. Paris, 288. I'm sure there was a couple of nice, really horse farms out there. Nicholasville, that's not shocking either. Good horse country out there. Richmond, you can get yourself a really nice home for $350,000. I mean, very upscale compared to what you would find in Lexington for $350,000. Frankfurt, $240,000. Again, really, really nice home. So let's jump into the sold to list ratio real quick. This is what you listed your home for versus what you got. So Lexington got about 98% of what they listed it for. A little bit of a drop, 99%. For Georgetown, for sales, 97%. Winchester, 99%. Paris, 95. Nicholasville, 98. And Richmond, 97. And Frankfurt, 97%. So as you can see, the market is not, it's not crashing. Everyone keeps talking about a crash. The videos, if you see out there that people are talking about crashing, they're really just trying to get you to click and watch the video. And once you actually watch it, you're like, okay, it's really not that bad of a deal. But we have to be careful of what's going to happen in the future. If you're thinking about buying, I'm telling you that interest rate has been steady. It's not showing any signs of getting any lower than 6.5%. I mean, we've been rocking just under 7% now for the last couple of weeks. So you can play the waiting game if you really, really want to. Would not recommend it, because if you sit down and talk with me, we talk about your plans for your future, building up that equity, getting you into the home that you really, really want to. It just pushes all of that back. So rates will fluctuate, rates will change. Okay. We can always refinance if the rates ever drop again, but you could be pushing yourself back years waiting for an interest rate to drop. Whereas we could find you a good home under a payment plan that you can afford, and you can just be chipping away at that mortgage. And then when the interest rates drop, you can make a choice. You could either move or you can refinance, which will dramatically affect your payment plan, and then keep chipping it away. And then, 5-6 years down the road, we move you into your dream home, your forever home that you really, really want to be. So is it time to sell? I mean, it's a great time to sell. I mean, it is. It's a good time to sell. As you can see, the numbers, 99% sold to list ratio in Lexington. That's average. That's the average home that sells. They're paying exactly what they list it for. So you're going to get your money's worth. And if you're in the neighborhood that everyone wants to be in, if you're in the school district people want to be in, your home isn't a mess, it doesn't need a lot of work, holy cow, your home's going to sell for more than what you wanted to list it for. Okay. And you're going to have a bidding war on that house. So just understand that it's a great time to sell. If you're worried about not finding that next home, we can always write in contingencies of finding that next home. Okay. Same thing when you go to purchase that next property, you can put a contingency on the purchase of that property that you have to close on this property. I've done deals like that. Okay. There's those contingencies that you could put in place to protect yourself. So that way you're not buying more than one house, nor are you losing all houses and you'll have a house to move into. We will have that in place. And that is very, very normal for anybody. And I know if you're worried about outbidding other people, it's all about getting there. Sometimes first one there, first one at the table, first offer on the table. So that's how I got this last house with my last group. We saw the house at 8 a.m. We were in there by 9 a.m. We had an offer on the table by like 9:45 a.m. Okay. It's very, very possible to beat the rush, to beat the crowd, and get yourself in there. But you have to have that mindset. You've got to be ready to rock and roll. You've got to be ready to go. And because the good ones will disappear that fast. So that's what we're going to do for today. That's all for today on our market update. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if you know someone who needs help, you need help, please leave me a comment, shoot me an email. Probably the best way to do it is shoot me an email, shoot me a text, and we will schedule a brief buyer's consultation so we can talk about what your plans are, what your goals are, and then that way I can make sure I'm ready to help you all out. And I just had that meeting yesterday with that lovely couple. I'm very excited for them. They've got a good idea of where they want to land now and stuff like that. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to get these out on Monday. Like I said before, be ready. Check out my video, Beer Cheese Festival here in Winchester, Kentucky. I'll talk to y'all soon.